Library Teddy's Tree of Joy. With special thanks to Lucy Ann, Audrey and Ivy. The library Teddy was sad. The library had been quiet and Teddy was missing all the children. The librarian had explained that lots of people were staying safe at home so that they would be well for Christmas. And though Library Teddy understood and wanted everyone to have a lovely Christmas, he still felt lonely. "Why don't you help me decorate the Christmas tree?" the librarian asked. But Library Teddy didn't want to decorate the tree. Library Teddy was too sad. "Why don't you help me put up these garlands?" said the librarian. "That will cheer you up." But Library Teddy didn't want to put up the garlands. Library Teddy was too sad. "Why don't you help me bake some mince pies?" said the librarian. "That will cheer you up." But Library Teddy didn't want to help with the baking. Library Teddy was too sad. "Why don't we read a Christmas book?" said the librarian. "That will cheer you up." But Library Teddy didn't want to read a Christmas book. Library Teddy was too sad. He turned away from the librarian. So the librarian decorated the Christmas tree, hung up the garlands, baked the mince pies, and read the book all by herself. That evening, after the librarian had tucked Library Teddy up on his shelf for the night, she had a little talk with him. "Library Ted," she said, "I know you are sad just now, and sometimes when you're sad it's hard to remember how to be happy. The thing to remember is that happiness doesn't always come in great big bundles. Sometimes it comes in little drops of joy. If you go looking for drops of joy, you will start to find so many of them that soon you'll forget to be sad." "What do you mean, little drops of joy?" asked Library Teddy. "Well," said the librarian, "this is one of my drops of joy. It always makes me happy seeing you snuggled safely on your shelf. When I find a book for one of the children, that's a special drop of joy. And of course, whenever I have honey on my toast, that's a great big dollop of joy." Library Teddy lay awake in the quiet of the library, thinking about what the librarian had said, before falling into a peaceful sleep, with his snuffly berry snores filling the silence. The next morning, when Library Teddy opened his eyes, the first thing he saw was the twinkly lights that the librarian had placed on the Christmas tree. The beautiful reds, greens and golds made Teddy smile, and he thought, "I found a drop of joy." Scurrying out from under his blanket, he started to look all around the library. He found the garlands the librarian had hung up. Library Teddy's smile got even bigger as another drop of joy filled his heart. Library Teddy's nose began to snuffle. There was a lovely smell coming from the kitchen. "I think I know what that is," thought Library Teddy. Pushing the door open, he saw the librarian placing a plate on the table. "I found another one," he said happily. "You found another what?" asked the librarian. "Another drop of joy," said Teddy, pointing excitedly at the stack of pancakes dripping with honey. "Oh, well done, Teddy," said the librarian. That night, after the librarian had gone home, Library Teddy lay looking at the Christmas tree. "It isn't quite right," he thought. "It needs something else." Quietly, he slipped down from his shelf and went to the craft cupboard, where he found scissors, card, ribbon, and some crayons. Carefully, he cut a drop shape out of the card and wrote "pancakes" on it. Taking a piece of ribbon, he tied it to the tree. Then he made some more. He wrote "my favourite book," "singing in the bath," "laughing with my friends," "dancing round the library." On and on Library Teddy worked, hanging each drop carefully on the tree, until it didn't look like drops any more, but a perfect shower of joy flowing down the tree. Then he climbed back onto his shelf and fell asleep with a beery smile on his face. The next day, as the school children made their way home, they saw Teddy's tree of joy in the window of the library. They all smiled and went inside to the librarian. "Can we add our own drops of joy?" they asked the librarian. "Of course," she said, handing out card and crayons. And so the children added their joy to the tree. The Library Teddy sat in his spot and watched the library fill up with children, joy, and Christmas cheer. The Library Teddy wasn't sad anymore. The end. Merry Christmas, everyone, from all at Laois Libraries.